All right, sick. I just finished my new track. Now it's time to find a vocal. Let's open Splice here.
Shake that ass, don't move fast.
Dance with that groove, all you got to do is move. I'm a mess, wanna guess how I gonna lose.
Perfect. Let's just double check. Make sure no one's used this vocal yet.
I'm a mess, wanna guess how I gonna. I'm a mess, mess. I'm a mess, mess. I'm a mess, wanna guess how I'm a mess.
All right, so unless you've been living under a rock the past few years, Splice has gotten absolutely huge, and as a result, so many producers are using the samples on there, especially the vocal samples. Good vocal samples can be very hard to find, so you can bet if you're using a vocal sample on Splice, tens, if not hundreds of other producers are using those same samples. Now, with that being said, over 60,000 songs are uploaded to Splice every day, which means it is getting harder and harder to have your songs heard by your ideal listeners. And one of the most important parts about songs these days is having good vocals. As humans, we love vocals. We love organic, human kind of sounds. And if you look at the Billboard Top 100, every single one of those songs has a big lead vocal. So if you want your tracks to be successful, for the most part, you're gonna set yourself up for a way better chance of success if you have a strong vocal in it. To address this, most producers are using Splice. I know I have in the past, but it seems like every time I use a Splice vocal, I find like 10 other songs later that week that use the exact same vocal. If you're hoping to sign your tracks to labels, a lot of labels these days aren't even signing tracks with Splice vocals because they know how many producers are gonna use it, and they know how unoriginal that track will sound when a listener hears 3 other tracks that week with the exact same vocal. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys all of my favorite strategies and places to look for finding unique, high quality vocals to take your tracks to the next level. Now, if you're a music producer and you enjoy content like this, I suggest you smash that like button and destroy the subscribe button so you can be in the know when I drop more tutorials just like this in the very near future. Now, without any further ado, let's get started in discussing my 7 favorite ways to find high quality vocals for your tracks.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Strategy number 1 is to find exclusive or non-exclusive but more rare vocals online using some of the platforms I'm about to go through. One example of a platform like this is Vocalify. As you can see, there's all sorts of vocals, but they're not just a few cents like they're on Splice. They're $24. A lot of these have a limited number of licenses, so maybe after 100 people buy this vocal, it'll go off. Let's give a few of these a listen.
I can feel your breath right up on my neck.
Very sensual.
I was waiting for your call.
Next is Vocal, V-O-K-A-A-L. They have exclusive vocals, non-exclusive, covers. Seems like these guys do it all.
I don't know if you...
Everything you touch turns into stone.
We don't want no smoke.
As you can see on here, a lot of these are quite a bit more expensive. $400, $500, $300. And this is kind of the cost that you can expect when working with an actual vocalist, except in those cases, they'll often want a cut of the royalties and any revenue the track makes as well. So this can be a good option if you want an exclusive vocal. Another example is Vocalio. It seems like if you just type the word vocal wrong, you'll find one of these websites. Let's give a few of these a listen.
Suspect, I knew you are sitting up right inside my heart.
The last example I'll go through is EDM Warriors. That's what we are. We're all just EDM warriors fighting the battle.
If you wake up in the morning,
Time is passing so slow.
we've been here before.
So lots of good options, and I didn't even list all of the ones. There's, I think, a lot of these platforms out here. So do your research, and also do your research into what kind of license you're buying so you know what the deal is. All right, strategy number 2 is to hire a singer online. The first website we'll check out is Sound Better. This is basically kind of like an Upwork or a Fiverr for musicians. There's all sorts of stuff on here. Singers, producers, songwriters. Each singer has their own little profile here and some ratings. They'll have their genre, their price, some of their credits, all sorts of stuff on here. All sorts of awesome singers on here. A lot of them have their pricing, the services, terms of service, reviews. It's cool. This website is great. Up next is Fiverr, which got absolutely huge over pandemic. They do all sorts of stuff. Lots of vocalists on here, but if you're looking for like design work, you get your merch done, get a logo, tons of options on here. I know a lot of people who use Fiverr for vocals and instrumental recordings and really enjoy it.
Just keep breathing and breathing and breathing.
Up next is Vocalizer, where you can connect with vocalists online or producers. I haven't used this one, but I've heard great things, so definitely another one to check out. Hey there, real quick, I just want to tell you about one of the most impactful things I think you can do as a producer, and that is getting in-depth feedback on your music. This is the fastest way I know of for accelerating your learning and development as an artist. Having experienced producers listen to your music and give you strategies on how to improve and take your tracks to the next level. And that's exactly why I started my Patreon community, is to help producers with that very thing. On my Patreon, I give music producers feedback on their tunes. I mentor them, help them work on their projects. I also post exclusive tutorials, samples, and much more. So if you're a music producer and want to level your shit up, check it out. There's a link in the bio, and I hope to see you in there. But let's get back to vocals. Okay, strategy number 3 is to use lesser known sample packs. There's a lot of sample pack creators out there that not everyone is combing through like they are on Splice. One example I love is Loop Masters. They have all sorts of stuff on here. They've been around for a while, and we can filter by exclusively vocals. And they have all these dope packs with reviews, all sorts of stuff, so definitely check them out. Next we have Ghost Hack. They have all sorts of awesome vocal packs, and once again, not everyone is using this like they are with the Splice vocals. Next is Sounds.com from Native Instruments. It's a Splice competitor, but they have way less people using the platform, so definitely some more hard to find vocals on there that you can use in your tracks. The last example I'll show is Prime Loops. They have all sorts of vocal stuff on here. India vocals, soul voices, Persian, if you want that shit to really have some swag, definitely check them out. But there are tons of websites like this. So if you just like search vocal sample pack on Google and go to like the 3rd page of results, you'll find some harder to find vocals. Strategy number 4 is to use an actual vocalist. There's all sorts of vocalists out there trying to build their careers as artists just like you are. So what I would recommend you do is go through Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you use, and look at all the tracks that you like. A lot of them will have vocalists featured in the credits, and then you can keep track of all those names, put them in a little spreadsheet, then reach out to those vocalists and see if they're open to working on a track with you. Here's an example. They'll either say featuring this artist, or you can go to the credits, show credits, and you'll see them there performed by. There's lots of ways to go about it, but there's tons of vocalists out here who are looking to work with producers just like you. Strategy number 5 is to find old acapellas on YouTube. There's all sorts of acapellas on here. So if I just search 90s acapellas, people have these playlists on here of all sorts of vocals. You can see I've combed through a lot of these, but there's all sorts of cool stuff on here.
Now you want to know. Ooh, I bet you're wondering how I knew.
Now, I heard through the grapevine that you can actually do this with remixes as well. If you're doing a remix, just search the track name and acapella, and a lot of times you can either find the legit studio acapella, or someone will make one with some of these cool like tech things out there that can really isolate vocals easily, like lalol.ai I think is one of them. So YouTube is a great library of all sorts of cool vocal stuff you can use, but definitely check into the licensing for it and stuff. You don't want to get any trouble using vocals that you're not authorized to use. Strategy number 6, it's going to be an unconventional one, but use your own voice. Even if you're not a singer, there's still ways to use your voice. I've used my voice in plenty of tracks, and I have a horrible singing voice. So what I would recommend is just experimenting with your voice. Write down some fucking rhymes or something, and then record yourself and really play with processing your voice. Our voice is the most dynamic, controllable instrument we have access to, and people just seem to be afraid of using it. But if you can really harness the power of your own voice, you can not only use it for vocals, you can use it for leads, basses, effects, all sorts of stuff, and you can keep all of the royalties from the music you make if you're just doing it all yourself. So definitely experiment with your own voice, even if you only just use it for like chants or one shots or something like that. But I think you'll surprise yourself about the things you'll be able to do with it. So good luck, give that one a shot. Now strategy number 7 is to get audio clips offline. YouTube has tons of cool clips, whether it's from an old movie, a newscast, just some random video. You can really isolate those in a lot of cool ways and then use them in your tracks. This is done all the time. Subtronics uses these Rick and Morty samples. My friend Kaztech actually did a really funny sampling of this news thing I'll show you.
Cause I heard him first, I said, hold on. I said, hold up, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute.
But yeah, guys, that's it. Those are the 7 strategies I use. I hope you found it helpful, but if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I'd love to keep the discussion going. And if you guys have any suggestions for future content, other videos you'd like to see from me, just let me know. I'm here for you guys. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.